it is, family? This is your host, Jared Smith, bringing you another real estate tip of the day. If this is your first time tuning in, I want to say thank you so much. And to stay up to date with everything I got going on, you're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram or YouTube. My IG handle is the_IIWII_podcast. And my YouTube channel is Jared Smith. Jared with 2 R's, Jarred Smith. So that way, by following me on both platforms, you'll stay up to date with all of my podcast related material as well as all my real estate related material. And now, with that being said, let's get to it. So today's real estate tip of the day is to use a real estate agent to help you find your next rental. I know that a lot of times when we think of real estate agents, we only associate them with helping you buy a home or selling a home. But there's so much more that you have at your disposal with a real estate agent by having them help you with your real estate needs, including helping you find your next rental. And to convince you to do so, I'm going to give you the 5 reasons why you should include a real estate agent with helping you find your next rental. Reason number 1 is this. They have an expertise on the area of interest, especially in areas of high demand and high competition. So coming from someone that lives in Philadelphia, the 2 areas that I could think of off the top of my head that are high demand would be Center City and Northern Liberties. So when you have areas in high demand by a lot of renters, that's going to include a lot of competition, which may make you finding your next rental a little bit more difficult. So by including a real estate agent on that transaction, they could kind of help you navigate the competition to find the right rental for you. And they can also tell you what to expect price-wise as well with everything going on. Now, another reason why that tip is important is if you're coming from out of town. So let's say you're moving or being relocated for work and you're stressing out because you don't know the areas that well and you're not really looking to buy a house. Happen to a real estate agent to help you find that next rental, so that way it'll alleviate the stress of you having to navigate an unknown land. But also, if you're from around the area and you're trying to move into an area of high competition, a real estate agent navigate those needs. Number 2, as to why you should include a real estate agent, is that they have access to rental listings that sometimes the general public may not have access to by means of Facebook, Craigslist, or apartments.com. By using a real estate agent, they will use all the tools that they have at their disposal, such as MLS, which stands for the multi-listing service, which is what they use to help their clients list homes or find potential homes for their clients. And also on there as well are rental listings. Some of those listings may not always be on those public sites, like I said, such as Facebook, Craigslist, or apartments.com. So like I said, by using a real estate agent, they can tap into those networks and resources that you don't have access to help you find your next rental. Now, speaking of Craigslist, that brings me to reason number 3. If not, this may be the most important reason why you should include a real estate agent on helping you find your next rental is this. They can help you avoid scams. Now, a lot of times when people think of, going into rentals, they would never think of, the potentialities of them getting scammed. However, there are an abundance of scams out there. So by using a real estate agent, they can not only identify these scams by a mile away, which will be another tip for another day, but they can also help you bypass getting scammed by bringing you 100% pure, authentic listings and leads for you, the client. So by utilizing a real estate agent, you can bypass the fear of getting scammed by having them bring you pure, honest leads. Now, reason number 4 why you should use a real estate agent for helping you find your next rental listing is this. It will save you so much time. Now, I'm going to speak from personal experience. I know the stress of having to deal with work, having to deal with life, having to deal with your lease coming to an end, and you not really being able to dedicate the time necessary to find the next rental because you have all these things going on. Little did you know, hey, a real estate agent can help you save so much time and stress by having them do the work for you of you finding your next rental. So by using a real estate agent, you can save yourself all the time. You can deal with work, life, and everything going on, and they can help you find your next rental. So save yourself some time, tap into your real estate agent, such as myself, to help you find your next rental. And last but not least, and this might be my favorite reason why you should use a real estate agent to help you find your next rental. And it is completely free. Yes, I said it. It is free. Free 99 plus tax. Here's the reason why. The reason why using a real estate agent to help you find your next rental is completely free to you is this. The last thing that any landlord wants to deal with is a vacant unit. So oftentimes what landlords will do is they'll cut a deal with a real estate agent to pay them to have them occupy their unit, have them occupy their property for them. So the beautiful thing about this is by bringing you the client that's looking for a rental and bring you together with the not with the real estate agent, but with the landlord, it solves problems for the both of you. You have a place to live, and they have somebody to live in the place that they're willing to provide. And by doing so, it costs you nothing. And the reason is that the landlord will pay your realtor to occupy that unit by finding a qualified tenant such as yourself. So I know this one was a little bit long, but I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said before, my name is Jared Smith, the host of the It Is What It Is podcast, and also a real estate agent out here in Philadelphia. If you like this content, please feel free to follow me on Instagram at _IIWII_podcast, and also on my YouTube channel at Jared Smith. That's Jared with 2 R's. So, with that being said, that's your real estate tip of the day, and I hope you enjoy the episode of this podcast. Until next time. Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode, and right now this is episode 3 of season 2. So, just as a little recap, last episode we had my good friend Tyree, CEO of Got Her Guns Clothing. Since then, I hope you guys all and ladies have all checked them out. Definitely a great stand-up guy. Thank you, Tyree, for stopping by the show and pushing the episode further. And I would definitely love to have you on again. So if anybody hasn't, please check him out at Got Her Guns Clothing. And like I said, that was the last episode, so feel free to check out the hyperlinks in the bio of last episode. So today, there's no guest. This episode is just more of a conversational piece that just kind of help everybody get their critical thinking, self-reflecting juices flowing. And to jump into this, I just want to read off somebody's resume. And if you get it, before I say who the person's name is, the special prize is my utmost love and respect. So I'm going to read this person's resume. And before I say their name, I just want you to think to yourself, is this person an accomplished, what's the word I'm looking for? If they're just accomplished at their craft. There's no fancy word I could think of about it right now. So we're going to get into it. So this person has ran the 60-meter dash in 7.2 seconds in 2019. She has ran the 100-meter dash in 10.72 seconds this year. This person has ran the 200-meter dash in 22 seconds in 2020. This person has, she has represented the U.S. in the Pan American U20 Championship, won, I think, the gold medal, it says, in 2017 by running the 4x100-meter relay race. So I'm also probably going to spoil it with this next accolade. In April of 2021, this person had ran a personal best of 10.72 seconds becoming the sixth fastest woman of all time. Not sometimes, not that time over there, or maybe times, of all time. And she, with that record, she became the fourth fastest American woman in history. So, I'm pretty sure we all know who I'm talking about. I am talking about the famous, and then in a matter of weeks, infamous Sha'carri Richardson. So, before we get started, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm still a fan. Never stopped being a fan. Have the utmost respect for her, the empathy for her journey right now. And the reason why I want to talk about this is A, because I feel like it, and B, I never really had a chance to talk about this with you all. During the break, Sha'carri Richardson rose to fame from running that 10.72 second best record, becoming the sixth fastest woman. That's a tongue twister. The sixth fastest woman of all time. Oh, sorry, sixth fastest woman, I think, of all time. Did I just read that correctly? Yeah, I read that correctly. Yeah. So she ran, and she became the sixth fastest woman of all time. And the support was out of this world, and well deserved and well earned. And then a little bit after that, she got suspended from the Olympics and for testing positive for weed. And what was interesting to me was how quickly the support turned to shame. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't care about the Olympics, because whether she competed there or not, which she did after a suspension, and we all saw what happened, none of that takes away from what she has accomplished up until this point. But the one thing that really sparked interest in me was how quickly everything turned around for her, in terms of the support. 1 minute, we're all celebrating. Oh, yeah, she's that girl, like she said. Black girl magic. We love the hair. We love the nails. We love the eyelashes. Mind you, all of that was stated and celebrated while she was winning. Me personally, I think she's still winning. We're going to get into that a little later. But what's crazy to me was the same things that everybody was celebrating was what was being criticized and held against her when she didn't compete in the Olympics. And this sparked a self-reflecting question in me. And I was just thinking to myself, does she not still deserve the same support? Does she not still deserve the same respect? Because, like I said, whether she competed it or not, those records still stand. And what really sparked the question for me was how fast everybody turned on her. Now, of course, I'm using everybody as a hyperbole, not everybody. I know there's some people that still support her, but the overarching narrative became murky when this whole weed thing happened. So to jog everybody's memory, if they don't remember, is she had lost her biological mother shortly before the race. So, per her words, the stress of having to perform at such a high level, which we're going to talk about, plus grieving the death of her biological mother, made her feel like that was the only way that she could cope with everything going on. Listen, I'm not going to pretend I know what it's like to lose a mother, my mother at that. And on top of that, I'm not even going to begin to imagine I know what the feeling is like of performing at such a high level with all those expectations. So for me, when I heard all of that, I was like, to heck with the Olympics. You know, she's still that it girl. She's still the amazing person that she was when all of this happened prior to the weed thing, when everybody was just riding her coattails. And the question I had for her detractors was, why the reason for the switch up? And a lot of people went to, oh, rules are rules. She should have known better. All right, cool. If we're talking about her competing in the Olympics, I understand. Rules are rules. But what I'm alluding to is something that's bigger than the Olympics. The sense of community, the sense of support, the sense of I don't know, like, I don't want to say civic duty, but that's the only thing I could think of. Civic duty of holding somebody down while they're going through such a transition in their life. And I think I got to the bottom of that. I really, really think I got to the bottom of it. And this reminded me of a lesson that I had learned during my break from the podcast, and why I will continue to support Sha'carri Richardson. I don't care what she ranks in these races, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I don't care what she ranks. I don't care that she came in last place and then eventually fourth place in another race. I don't care about that. You want to know why? Because she was still competing at a level that nobody that I know of can even relate to. Those were still world-renowned, highly accredited, highly sought after races. So my thing is, okay, she came in last. Not only was she coming off of a suspension, but she lost to the best in the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, she lost to the best. How was she washed? And that was the language that a lot of people were throwing at her that was starting to bother me. As you heard earlier, I read off everything she accomplished, and that was just a summary. So pardon me for saying everything. That was just a summary. So everything that I read, we saw what she accomplished, which garnered the, oh my God, black girl magic. Yeah, look at us, the long hair, everything. Like, everybody, men and women, were on the Sha'carri train. And then when she, through her personal issues, was denied the opportunity to compete in the Olympics, what bothered me was everyone was saying they were disappointed in her. Last time I checked, She was running for her. She was running before, she was running during the praise, and she will continue to run after all this is done by. So my thing that bothered me was, oh, we're so disappointed in her. Who are you? Or better yet, I'm up throwing myself in there. Who are we? Who are we? And that is the question that led to the answer as to why I felt everybody turned on her. So, the question of who are we? That's a question that sparks self-reflection. You get what I'm saying? That's the question that makes you start to think critically about who you are and where you're at in your life. And what I noticed was when people were disappointed, I don't think it was necessarily at her. Ride with me on this one, y'all. Ride with me on this one. I think what people were disappointed in was the expectation that they placed on her for their own self-interest was denied. Because I felt like when she was on top, quote unquote, everybody saw themselves in her. Everybody saw their chance to win. Now, I'm not saying I'm not one of I'm the type of people, the type of person that doesn't, acknowledge that when I win and people see me winning, that people won't be inspired by that. I'm not going to pretend to be ignorant to that. But that has its limits. Because at the end of the day, she's living her life and you're living your life. The decisions that you made to where your life is right now is not her fault. And that's what I think what led to this ginormous disappointment in Sha'carri Richardson. It wasn't the fact that she didn't run in the Olympics. It was your inspirational story, which I still think her story is super inspirational. She's not done yet. She's only 21. But we don't like redemption stories while people in the midst of redeeming themselves. We don't like that. But that's a story for another day. But what people were disappointed in was their tale was ruined. And that was part one of what started to bother me. So she's still the sixth fastest woman in the world. The sixth fastest woman of all time and the fourth fastest American woman in history. So now that people's expectation bubble was busted, to circumvent the embarrassment, I put those in quotes, of supporting her, we now go to ridicule and then clowning. And what really bothered me about the clowning was, I'm going to say it again, she's the sixth fastest woman of all time. There's nothing washed about that. There's nothing terrible about that. Now, we can get into how she lost, absolutely. But like I said earlier, she lost on a grand stage against the best. If you're not close to that, or even in those arenas, I personally think you don't have any skin in the game to critique her craft or how she performs the craft. And this is what bothers me about people is Because you sitting back doing this on your phones and you have a platform to express your opinions, you think you're an expert on everything. Or better yet, let me say this. Let me try carefully. And also because of social media, we think other people's successes are our own. But we don't think their failures are our own. So we pick and choose. So, like I said, everybody was rioting. Everybody was thirsting. And the minute that this young lady shows that she's human, whatever. She's corny. Oh, yeah, you should have known better. You had the hair. You had the nails. So why the switch up? But we know that already. Oh, the reason why we don't like her now is because she was clowning the Jamaicans. And she should just focus on winning and just shut up. All right, cool. Let's talk about that. Another issue I have with people, and don't worry, y'all, this is going to tie into the overarching conversation. What kills me with people is when they disrespect you, they write the rules on how you should handle their disrespect. It's crazy to me. So, y'all clown, y'all joke, and when she barks back, oh, meet me in a race, oh, LOL, you should be training, look at you trying to clap back at us, I'm a nobody, yada, 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 yada. But let's say she pulled up on you on a race. How would you fare? How would you fare? If you ran track, let's pull up your resume and hold it up against hers. Oh, but the Olympics, I don't care about the Olympics. I don't care about the Olympics. She's still the sixth fastest woman of all time. So, what I was saying earlier, civic duty, I think a part of having civic duty is also having empathy for other people. So her clowning the Jamaicans. Now, I'm not saying I support that, but let's look at it from a competitive standpoint, right? The people talking about her on these interviews, the people that make these comments about her, if you listen to Sha'carri, you would have noticed that she said that none of those people ever spoke to her. Because now what I'm seeing, or was seeing, is that her being made fun of and talked about now is to degrade her, to make a mockery of her. And all I know is if somebody is going to talk about me on a national platform and they never spoke to me, yeah, I'm going to have something to say. I'm just human. So I feel like I talked about that enough. You know, Sha'carri Richardson, I hope this podcast gets to a point where you can hear it. Listen, keep doing your thing. I love the energy. I love the competitiveness. I think who you are is who you were before all of that. And I think you should continue to be your authentic self. And you continue to do your thing. Now, got to put the hood up for this one. What does that mean for us? Or better yet, what does that mean for me? I learned a lot from watching how everything switched up for Sha'carri. I learned that everybody won't be kind to your journey. I learned that people love you when you're up, and then when you're down, the switch up is inevitable. I learned that the best way to navigate life and to navigate your journey is to be your true, authentic self. And the reason for that is you owe it to you. As I saw with Sha'carri, who's still the 6th fastest woman in the world, that people will hold you to an expectation to fulfill an unfulfilled desire in themselves. We've all been there. When you're the quote unquote family disappointment, you're not the family disappointment. Your family just had an expectation of you to do something that they didn't do themselves. And if anybody can relate, that's one heck of an existential identity crisis. So by being your true, authentic self, yeah, it's a lot harder. Yeah, it's a lot more vulnerable, but it'll help you navigate that journey to be a better version of you. And like I saw with Sha'carri, I said, you know what? Even when everybody's talking the mess and doing whatever, her true authentic self brought her to that point. To the point where if she were to pull up on any of the people talking smack about her, she would win. And that brought me to another point. Nobody knows what you're going through but you. It's a sad revelation, but nobody knows what you're going through but you. People don't know the work that you put in but you. They only see what they want to see. What does that mean for us? Aside from being our true, authentic selves, I think we should do whatever it is we would want to do. I think we should, whatever that dream, whatever that passion, whatever that business idea or a craft idea, whatever that relationship you want to repair, whatever help you want to seek, go and get it. Go and do it. Because people are going to talk anyway. And no matter how good you do for people or do for others, they're only going to see what they want to see. And I think with that being said is it doesn't matter whether it's perfect or not. People are going to talk. So make your mistakes anyway. People will always ignore the results of the work that you put in. So do what it is you want to do anyway. You saw it. She's still the 6th fastest woman in the world. And people are talking about her like, whatever, she whack. But guess what? No matter what people say, that record still stands. And to me, I don't think I would have noticed that if this weren't happening. And I'm never really the type to be like grind. I hate that. But I do believe in putting in work. Nobody likes the work. People romanticize the work. And if you go back to what I said on episode 1, everybody attaches themselves to what it looks like winning to be. Whatever winning looks like, whatever winning looks like, that's what people will support. The work don't look like winning. The work is ugly. The work is struggle. The work is doubt. The work is Sometimes it's self-loathing. And the work is lonely. When you put in the work, 9 times out of 10, you by yourself. You get what I'm saying? And that's what gets ignored. People will only pay attention to what they see. They'll celebrate the wins, but they'll clown the L's. And this whole Sha'carri thing personally made me realize in life, there are no L's unless you quit. Oh, but Jared, she came in, 9th or 10th place. Still the 6th fastest woman in the world. She was still at those races to lose to the best. How was that an L? Think about it. How was that an L? Granted, would I like to see her win? Absolutely. But she still competed with the best. To even be in that space is a win in and of itself at 21 years old. What got her there was the work. And that's something to me, which is what humbled me when it comes to critiquing, whether it be professional athletes, successful businessmen and businesswomen. I'll have an opinion, but keyword an opinion about the conversation at hand, but I will never discredit the work that they put in because they there and I'm here. And for anybody that's like a detractor to who Sha'carri is as a person, I ask yourself, where are you at? Wherever you're at. Not saying you got to run track, but are you where you're at, where you want to be at your job? Or better yet, are you working the job that you want to work at? Is your relationship where you want it to be at? Are you with somebody you want to be with? Are your finances where you want it to be at? Because last time I checked, Sha'carri is where she wants to be at. That's where the work got her. Now, I'm not saying we can't have our opinions. I'm not saying we can't have our jokes. But there's a certain level of respect that we owe her for being where she's at. Because the work got her there. And that's what motivated me to not be afraid of taking chances and looking like an idiot, because that's part of the work. And regardless, people are going to say what they want to say. And I know a lot of times people pretend like other people's opinions don't matter, but they do to a degree. Deep down inside, everybody wants to please everybody. But it's not possible. Not at all. This woman, I hate to keep bringing this Sha'carri, but she could win gold for the rest of her life. But people will still talk about this. And what I realized is the power of people's opinion is only there if you give it attention. So, what does that mean for us? Like I said, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you want to be, wherever it is you want to be, just do it. Put the work in. Put the work in. People are going to talk. If your dream is to move out of the town, the city all your family is in, do it. But what are they going to say? They're going to talk about you whether you're there. You might as well be happy where you want to be and have them talk. Oh, yeah, mom, dad, uncle, whatever. I hear you, but I'm where I want to be at. I'll talk to you. Click. That business idea you have, do it. People are going to talk about you when it's where it's supposed to be just as much, if not more, than when you just started. It makes no difference. People are going to talk. People are going to talk. And I'm going to let you guys on in a little something. If you paid attention to the real estate tip of the day, that was the second time I did a video. I was terrible at it. I was trying to start and restart for it to be perfect, but I said, it's never going to be perfect. People are going to talk, whatever. But guess what? I did it. Was it bad? I think so, but I'm there because of the work. I'm talking about real estate because I put in the work to be able to talk about real estate. And honestly, I'm excited to where the journey will lead me, but I think this is the best space to be in, where you just confident in who you are and where you're going. It's the best feeling in the world. And I want us all to be there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't have supporters, just like I'm not going to sit and pretend like you all don't have supporters. Pay attention to the people that love on you. The people that have something bad to say about you, not saying it's not going to hurt, but you should show double the love to the people that show love to you. The people that support your ideas, that support your visions, that support whatever it is you got going on, those are the ones you want to pay attention to. Not saying you can't aspire for more. Of course, that's what life's about. Life is about pursuing a better version of who you are and becoming the person that you desire to be. And one of the things that I'm learning, and, what the whole Sha'carri Richardson situation showed me, was the people that love on you, the people that support you, those are the ones you should focus on. Because people are always going to talk. They're going to love you when you're up. They're going to hate you when you're down. But the people that love on you are going to be there no matter what. And if you have one person that does that, and if you have two, you're super lucky. Love on them. Focus on them. And this is yet another gratitude tangent I'm about to take. And this is the reason why I feel so confident in the podcast and where it's going to even start delving into real estate, is because of the love I get from you all. Every person that shares it, every person that likes it, every person that listens, that's what keeps me going. And, just to expound upon something I alluded to on the first episode, I was imprisoned by the numbers. This person's not listening. This person didn't share it. This person didn't even like the post. Oh my God, this post looks ugly. There's no engagement on it. I look corny, but nah, that's just part of the work. And the 1 to 3 people that 1 person to 3 people, whatever, bad grammar. Excuse me. They make it worth it. And the support I've been getting is what's allowing me to have the confidence to post and to be more aggressive with pushing the brand forward, because it's all part of the work. And that was something that I feared until I saw everything Sha'carri was going through. What she's going through is at a world level. I'm just worried about the people in my immediate circle. So if she has the energy to keep going and to keep pushing forward when the world is laughing at her and she's just, I'm going to keep on trucking along, what excuse do I have? And this season, I'm really, really going to not only continue to challenge myself, but could challenge the listeners to, oh, wow, somebody's bass is going crazy out there. Sorry about that. But to challenge you all to step out the fear of other people's opinions. Not saying there aren't truth to other people's opinions, but that's when you have to have a trusted counsel that has your best interest in mind. Stop fearing what other people are going to say. Do what you want to do. You only get one life. And people are going to talk regardless. So if you have the idea to start that podcast, start it. That business, start it. To make that post, just do it. That YouTube channel, start it. Going back to school, just do it. Dropping out of school with a plan, do it. It's up to you. People are going to talk regardless. I also learned that when I was in college. You know, I'm in school. Yay, you're in school, but history. All right, I'll change it to econ. Ooh, econ. What are you going to do with that? So a 4-year degree turned to a 6-year degree, and then it turned into, when are you going back to school? Then it goes to, that's all you're making? You live here? Listen, you won't please everybody. You can't please everybody. You're not supposed to please everybody. Come up with that plan, do the work, and love on the people that show love to you. Support those that support you. Later for the people that always have something to say, that always want more. Love those that love you. And that's what's going to help you filter out the noise. That's what it did for me. You know, it's a lot of noise going on out here. It's a lot of hearsay, whether it be explicit, but a lot of it's implicit. A lot of it's implied. You know what I'm saying? But you continue to put that work in. You let people talk. You let people continuously, ignore all the work that you put in. The work will speak for itself in due time. So we all in this together. And that's also a part of the it is what it is mindset. All right, we here now. It's sometimes there's nothing we can do about other people's opinions. We can't let that stop us. You know what I'm saying? The greatest discoveries were discovered in the midst of failures. And what I believe a failure is just not getting something right. Keep trying. But that doesn't mean you didn't learn something from that mistake. People love to laugh and point fingers when you make a mistake. But then when you pop out a better person, better man, a better woman, because of it, they quiet. Do the work. That's it. Do the work. Let the work speak for itself, and love on those that love on you. And I think that's enough of a rant session. So, hold on one second, y'all. Sorry. I caught the static this time. Now, I'm not going out like that. And that's something I also wanted to apologize to y'all about, that static. But, so this concludes the episode. I just wanted to leave you all with something to think about. What's holding you back from taking that first step? Is it other people's opinions? You see what Sha'carri is going through. If she still has the gall to keep on running, you should have the gall to start what it is you want to start. The work will speak for itself. So, with that being said, y'all, that concludes episode 3. Every Monday, I'll be posting another episode, and I'm going to let the guests be a surprise. So, if this is your first time listening, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to follow me at the_IIWII_podcast. And also feel free to follow me on YouTube at Jared Smith. That's Jared with 2 R's. And also, let me know what y'all think about the real estate tips. If there's anything that you all would like to learn about or hear about specifically, feel free to let me know. And also, I'm opening the door up to the podcast for everybody. If there's something you just want to chop it up with me about, bring exposure to your business, your craft, whatever it may be, hit me up. DM me on my Instagram page and we could get started on some work. All right, y'all. It's been real. I love you all. Don't let other people's chatter stop you from doing what it is that you want to do. It's only one life and there's only one of you. You owe it to you to be who and what it is you want to be in this life. So until next time.